Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being here. It is the day after Thanksgiving. I cannot believe it. I hope you guys had an absolute blessed Thanksgiving, had some great food and fun with friends and family. I know I did. It was really wonderful. So today we have a little bit of focus and misty morning combination because I need that. You know, I love the bergamot. I love the zing. So good, so good. So today is kind of a downer, all right? Sad day. I've talked about this happening, and I've told you guys ever since a year and a half ago or so that this is going to happen, and it finally has. Photokina has suspended all operations, basically in perpetuity. So where does this leave us here in the photo industry as a whole, knowing that Photokina has been one of the largest pulls for both amateurs, pro-ams, and professionals to a specific imaging location, an imaging conference, an imaging whatever you want to call it, all right? And this was in Cologne, Germany. A lot, I mean all manufacturers would go there to show their wares every 2 years. That's important. Remember that, guys. We'll get into that a little bit more later. But before I get into it really deep, I want to say that if you haven't picked up my ebook yet, go pick it up. Go over to JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. 10 tips at making tax sharp images. Once again, something there for amateurs, pro-ams, as well as professionals. There's going to be something in there. Get it. It's free. Also, make sure that you are signed up to win this. This is the thinkTANK Urban Access 10. Awesome bag. I have one myself. This is an extra brand new one. Check it out. I did a video of it. I'll put a link somewhere right around here. Go check that out. And that's all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. Number one, and then also just leave a comment in that video and just tell me what you absolutely hate about the show, what you like about it, what you want to see different, what you want to see more of, whatever it is. That would be very helpful. And I will be sending this out at the end of this month to someone. I'm just going to randomly pick a comment from that video. So go and do that. Also, today is Black Friday. Everyone that's watching today, instead of 20% off like usual, you're going to get 30% off everything that's in my store. So go over to JCristina.com, use promo code YT30. Once again, YT30 at checkout. You're going to get 30% off for today, and I'm going to carry it on. Today is Friday. I'm going to carry it on through the weekend. So the next 3 days, YT30, 30% off everything in your shopping cart, not just one item. So let's get into the Photokina stuff here. What I would like to do is I want to read to you the press release that came out to us. And I think that it's very impactful. I think that it's sad, but I think it'll give you an idea of where the industry is going and maybe hopefully some direction in which the industry can go that might be more positive than what we've been seeing for the last couple of years. So we'll get into that also. So let me get right into this press release. We can join the imaging industry in looking back upon a successful, colorful, and innovative era. 70 years of Photokina in Cologne, Germany. Since 1950, for generations, it has been the top address for photography, video, and imaging. It indisputably ranks among the most positive and emotionally charged brands in the global trade fair world. This is precisely why it is an extremely difficult step for us to have to suspend implementation of Photokina at the location in Cologne for the time being. In light of the continuing steep decline in the markets for imaging products and the increasingly heterogeneous needs of the different market segments. Note, heterogeneous needs. This right here is very important to me because this is them acknowledging that it's not just about one thing or the other thing, it's about many things. And the folks that are out there are knowing and understanding that they have to do a lot of things. We need to be that jack of all trades. So yes, it is about imaging, but it's about audio, it's about video, it's about business, it's about a lot of different things. And this is what people are looking for right now. They're looking for the total package when they're going and spending their hard-earned money to go to these conferences. That's one of the things that Photo Plus Expo does really well, is they have not only the conference, but they also have a lot of training that goes on. And that right there is pretty much all the pull there is as of today. But we'll get into that later. Let me continue. Even before the coronavirus pandemic began, the imaging market was already subject to strong upheaval with annual percentage declines in the double digits. The momentum in this direction intensified massively in 2020, most recently reporting a decline in the 50% range. Within Photokina, the market shifts grew very noticeable in the recent past. Conceptual changes too, such as the inclusion of the smartphone and new imaging technologies, along with a change of cycle and a schedule change, were not enough to compensate for the downturn in the numbers and marketing budgets of exhibitors owing to consolidation of the classic market. Now, that is also very important. That is an understanding of this consolidation happening and the problem that they had by saying we're going to take Photokina and turn it into a every year show in comparison to an every other year show that it was for 70 years. By doing so, that had really turned off a lot of these big brands that were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for booths every 2 years, that would now have to do it every year, and they're simply not going to do it. Let me continue. The overall situation at the moment is not compatible with the quality standards of Photokina as a globally renowned leading trade fair and brand representing the highest quality and professionalism in the international imaging market. After decades of shared history, this deep cut is a painful one indeed. Nonetheless, we must face the situation and the trend in the industry and take a clear, honest decision against continuing this event, a decision to which, unfortunately, we have no alternative. No alternative, guys. All right? This is basically the hard facts. This is it, cutting right to the source of things. They just can't continue. The bleed is too great. There's a lot of manufacturers that are feeling that bleed, and some of them are not going to stay around, and you know who they are. Anyways, let's continue. We would like to thank you very much indeed for our time together, for your long-standing loyalty to Photokina, and for the enthusiasm that this has involved. It is the memories of unforgettable snapshots that we will cherish, such as when the gates of Photokina opened and we were privileged to welcome you to the trade show grounds in Cologne, to spend several days diving into the world of images together. Nothing short of imaging unlimited. Thank you for 70 years together, your Photokina team. So guys, that is sad. It is very sad, but we can see that even though they've been around for so long, as we see, 70 years, guys, 70 years, they just can't hold on anymore. It's just not possible. The shrinkage that's happening in this market is just, it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. A lot of it has to do with smartphones, but also a lot of it has to do with just the model behind imaging. What has happened, in my personal opinion, is imaging is becoming so accessible to everyone that the professionals have slowly been pushed out. And as we know, professionals are the ones that drive the market for innovation. The professionals need better and better and better, whereas the rest of them are coattailing behind the professionals. A lot of people think that it goes the other way around. It's the consumers that drive the market, and the professionals are coming up from the rear, even though they're a smaller percentage. But that is absolutely 100% not the case. All right. So that being said, the professionals are becoming less and less and less, and so has the industry become less and less and less. This shrinkage has just been apparent for many, many years, and I've talked about it with you guys for a long time. With conferences are just going the way of the dinosaur. And this is all conferences. This is all conferences. Now, I wrote down a couple of comments I want to read to you that were sent to me during Vlogmas last year in 2019. And it had to do with the trade shows, and it had to do with Photo Plus Expo, WPPI, it had to do with Photokina. So let me read a couple of them to you. Now, bear in mind, these comments were pre-COVID. All right. So COVID had nothing to do with this. Joe Alfano said, I went to PDN's Photo Plus Expo this year, and it should have been called Photo Minus. Sony had their show a block and a half away, and it was better than anything at the regular show. You see what's happening here? You see what's happening? The large corporations, those manufacturers, are doing their own shows, virtual or live, and not spending the money, as much money, in the actual shows proper, because they can do their own. It doesn't really matter. All right. It's not like it was years ago. And this was, remember, pre-pandemic. Now, Jay Luzier says, sponsoring a couple of vloggers to show off your gear on social media platforms is more effective in reaching potential retail customers than any trade show. Once again, that is fact. What's been happening as of late is we see YouTubers making a ton of money showing off these manufacturers' wares. Okay? Genuinely or disingenuously. Okay? So if they're biased or they're unbiased, you can see the equipment before buying it without going to these shows. Now, let me continue. Bob in Oregon says, why would someone from, say, the United States travel to Cologne, Germany to see equipment already widely featured on the internet? As you said, exhibiting at Photokina is horribly expensive, especially with the overhead such as air tickets, hotel rooms, taxis, etc. And that is absolutely the case. Cologne, Germany was a serious distance for the majority of the market. There was a lot of people coming in from the United States, some from Europe. There was a ton coming in from Asia. There was a lot of people traveling to Cologne, Germany, and it is a massive expense to do so, right? So that was a major problem right there. Now, one last one I have here, Walter Gibson says, why is it important to keep these shows going? They had a function at one time, and that was the big reveal of new products. And that is absolutely the case, guys. The big reveal was why press like myself would go to the shows. We would be able to see these items, have hands-on time with them, and play around with them, and then report back to you guys. That was one of the things I did with the very first Sony A7 Mark I. I was able to go with my partner over to the Photo Plus Expo show in Manhattan and handhold that and play with it. I found that it was complete crap at the time. They didn't have any lenses. Autofocus was abysmal, but I reported back to you guys about that, and I was able to actually hands-on it. Okay? They've come a long way, right? They've come a long way. But this just gives you an idea of how things are going and why I really don't think that it makes sense anymore. Those big reveals can happen online virtually, and they see it and they know it, and they can literally spend 1/10 of the amount to do so and get that information over to you, and then spend another 1/10 to throw some bloggers and some vloggers some money to review their product. Right? Much cheaper. And they have to do it because the margins aren't there right now, right? People are not buying the equipment. What are you going to do? You don't have the money. It's very hard to fly an entire team to Cologne, Germany, erect this massive booth, all right, for 100 grand, 200 grand. It's hard to do that, right? It just doesn't make much sense. The ROI isn't there. The value isn't there. I said return on investment is everything today, not just for the manufacturers, but also for us, the consumers. We look at the products and say, well, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? Do I really need to do it? Or what I have right now is good enough? good enough. Don't even want to get into that, right? So I guess to conclude, one of the major things that Photokina did wrong, and I called them out on it when they did it, is that they went from that every 2 years, like I was saying earlier, 2 years to 1 year. And by so doing so, these manufacturers looked at it and said, you know what, we cannot spend, let's say, $200K on a booth every single year, all right? Every other year is one thing. It's hard for us, but we're going to do it anyways because Photokina has such a pull, a global pull of photographers, videographers, imaging people just in general. So we're going to do it. But when they went to that every year process, people said, no, I can't travel. I don't have that kind of money to do it. The manufacturer said, we can't do that. And that really was the beginning of the end to Photokina. I guarantee you there was a whole bunch of board of directors sitting around and said, what are we going to do to make some money? You know, this is just not working out for us. What can we do? And then some bright nincompoop said, how about if we do it every year? You know, we'll double our money. Well, yeah. That didn't work out. Right? That simply didn't work out. We still see WPPI, right, over in Las Vegas. They're still going strong, let's say. We'll see if they stick around or not. We also see Photo Plus Expo in Manhattan, right, out of the Javits Center. That used to be a hospital a few months ago. Anyways, we do see them going back live and the event will be taking place. So how much longer are they going to be able to survive? I really don't know. Are they going to go the way of the dodo bird like Photokina has as of today? Sadly so. After 70 years, guys. 70 years. So, anyways, I want to know your thoughts on this. Are you enthusiastic about doing virtual trade shows? Or would you be a lot happier actually going to a trade show? Pandemic or no pandemic? Right? I want to know your thoughts. Do you like to sit around in your jammies and be able to watch a trade show on your monitor? Or would you really like to go out there and converse with people and have the interactions? For me, a lot of it had to do with interactions with you guys and with fellow members of the community, fellow press people. Having a good rapport with people by meeting them and shaking their hands is just something that is very hard to simulate virtually, through a Zoom conference or through Skype or something. It's just simply not the same. Simply not the same. After a trade show, we would go out and have dinner together, go have a drink or whatnot, and it's basically almost like in business going and playing golf. You have to go play golf. Why? Because the biggest deals are done while playing golf, right, guys? It's the same thing in this industry. A lot of the largest deals happened after hours, at the bar, eating dinner, just schmoozing with fellow people in the market. All right? So anyways, I think this is going to be something that we're going to see right across the entire conference arena. I think we're going to see a lot of conferences go out of business and go virtual. It is a sad thing in my personal opinion, but like I said, I want to know yours. So once again, guys, if you enjoyed this content even a little bit, throw it a big thumbs up. That will help me. That will help the channel. That will help the YouTube gods look kindly upon the video and hopefully tell other people about it and recommend it, because that is very, very important for content creators like myself. Also, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. There is thousands and thousands of you that watch these videos and comment but are not subscribed. I was looking at the analytics. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why don't they subscribe? Subscribe. Please subscribe if you like the content. So whenever I go live, you'll be notified of it, and whenever I put out a new video, you'll be notified of it. Also, the little bell here will help. If you click on that, those notifications will go out immediately, and you will be notified immediately when something comes out. Also, if you haven't picked up my ebook, like I said, go over to JCristina.com/ebook. Don't forget to use promo code YT30 today and Saturday and Sunday. 3 days, YT30 at checkout. That's our Black Friday sale. You're going to get 30% off everything in your shopping cart. So anyways, guys, that is it for me today. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.